So Evander Holyfield and Vitor Belfort just went to action in the headliner for Triller's boxing event on Saturday, September 11th. It was a slow Saturday, no UFC, no real boxing championships, but in the co-main event, Anderson Silva and Tito Ortiz went at it. Two MMA legends going at it in the boxing ring for Triller. Of course, Anderson Silva coming off his unanimous decision victory in the boxing ring over Julio Cesar Chavez, which was, a shocking surprise to most people. I mean, Julio Cesar Chavez is a former world champion, and he's been an active boxer. So, like I said, much younger than Anderson Silva as well. So a lot of people thought, Chavez would get, the best out of Silva in that one as most people would expect. But no, Silva came out looking very impressive, and this is his, next fight after that against Tito Ortiz, which seems like a little bit of a step down in opponent as far as, not necessarily name value, but as far as when it comes to just hand skills, you'd think Chavez is a better boxer than Ortiz. So a lot of people kind of assumed Anderson would come into this fight with the advantage and probably walk out with the victory. And anyone who thought that was right, because Anderson went in there and knocked him out in, I want to say, a minute. And, clearly was the better boxer in there. Landing the big shots, big power, and just technically clearly better on the feet in the boxing, Tito just seemed to have nothing for him. Also, he cut down to 200 pounds. Still missed weight, but that's the lightest we've ever seen Tito fight in his career, at the oldest we've ever seen him. So I'd have to assume it's harder for him to cut the weight now, and it's the lightest he's ever got. So I'm sure, it probably was not easy to take those punches on the chin when you're, lighter than you've ever been in your life. But we've never really seen Tito get knocked out that bad. He's fought a lot of great MMA fighters, and most of them don't knock him out the way Anderson just knocked him out on September 11th. So I gotta say, Anderson, despite everyone kind of expecting Anderson to get the victory, he still did it in very impressive fashion. I don't think many people expected him to just viciously knock out Tito so quickly and so easily, Anderson aging very well for, an aging star. And I hope he gets a big boxing fight, They're talking about maybe doing him and Jake or Logan Paul. I think he would beat them, But yeah, I hope he can get, a big novelty fight that gets him a big, large payday, That would be very fun to see for Anderson. And he's performing well. It's not like he's just going in there hunting a payday, which even if he is hunting a payday, he's training hard for it and he's performing well for it. He's going in there and he's putting on great performances. Of course, his last stretch in the UFC left a lot to be desired, and it didn't look exactly tremendous. But this, his last two boxing fights, although definitely not against world beaters, although Cesar Chavez, despite being kind of a clown, like most of the boxing community recognizes him as a bit of a clown, not that I do. He's obviously a tremendous boxer, but despite Anderson not fighting world beaters, I think he's still, exceeding everyone's expectations as far as what he's doing in this boxing realm. And like I said, Chavez, despite maybe not being a world beater as I called it, but he's still an elite boxer. He's an elite boxer, like no doubt about it. And also much, much younger than Anderson, So Anderson, I mean, really, really showing tremendous performances. And I'd like to see him against one of the Pauls. I think he might do a little bit too good for them. But, maybe against another novelty boxer, maybe Mike Tyson. Maybe we could get Anderson Silva and Mike Tyson in there or something crazy like that. Although Mike Tyson and Roy Jones was just an exhibition. So I don't think, I don't know if Mike Tyson's going to be doing any pro bouts, because Anderson's doing pro bouts, I believe. I believe both of those were pro bouts. So, yeah. Will we see Mike Tyson in a pro bout? I don't think so. But, I'm liking this. I'll tune in to watch Anderson box for as long as he's doing this. I mean, this is fun to watch. And like I said, the Tito fight was a bit of a step down from the Julio Cesar Chavez fight. I'm not too sure exactly what everyone was expecting from that. I mean, most people expected Anderson to win, so that's what we got in dramatic fashion, But I'd like to see him go against someone, with a little bit more hand skills, like Cesar Chavez, another skilled elite boxer, and see how he fares against somebody like that. Maybe even get someone a little bit closer to Anderson's age, kind of like Tito. Get someone in that age group, but a little bit more in the boxing realm of things, you know what I mean? Or even get an MMA guy who's just more recognized for his boxing skills, Maybe even Anderson and Vitor in the main event. By the way, if you want to hear me talk about Vitor and Evander Holyfield, make sure to check out my other video on the main event. But I wouldn't mind seeing Anderson and Vitor step in there too. They're both coming off a win on the same event. They're both, close to the same age. I mean, even close to the same weight, if not the same weight. I mean, they fought at middleweight. Anderson knocked him out with that beautiful front head kick, So obviously they fought at the same weight. They're in the same weight class. They both got the win on the same fight card. Why not put that fight together? I mean, I think that definitely seems to be, now that I think about it, I hadn't even thought about it until literally just right now, but now that I think about it, that seems to be an easy match to put together. Those two MMA guys, similar range, similar weight, both got the win in the boxing fight. Hey, why not? It kind of leaves Jake and Logan Paul a little bit out of the loop. Of course, Jake Paul might fight Tommy Fury, and Logan Paul isn't really as into the boxing scene as Jake. I mean, it seems like he'll take fights for opportunities, but he's not necessarily out there trying to make his name as a boxer the same way Jake Paul is. So, I think we will more than likely see Jake Paul go on to fight Tommy Fury because he's a legitimate boxer who's, young and more in his age group. And if Jake Paul can beat Tommy Fury, then that kind of solidifies him as, even though Tommy Fury's no solidified elite boxer, it does kind of solidify Jake as, he's really trying to make his name as a young boxer, even though he'll surely never beat the Canelos of the world. He may, beat most other people if he continues to progress and take on, increasing challenges and succeed, I don't think personally, I don't think he beats Tommy Fury, or definitely not Anderson. I think Anderson whoops both of the Pauls, but even Vitor, I think Anderson whoops Vitor. I think Anderson looks pretty damn good, I think Anderson in that boxing ring looks pretty good. So let me know what you guys think. Who do you think Anderson should go against next? Is it Jake Paul? Is it Logan Paul? Is it Vitor Belfort? Who do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, leave a like. Make sure to check out my video on Vitor Belfort and Evander Holyfield, the main event of this card. And tune in next week for more videos like this one. Make sure to subscribe for more videos like this one. There will be more every week. And thank you guys so much for watching.